Good day, everyone. I am Aljamin A. Kamid, and today I'm going to report the English for school and office secretaries. It includes here the roles and main responsibilities of a secretary. So first, what is secretary? A secretary is an administrative professional who plays an integral role in business and other organizational environments. Secretaries are typically the individuals who maintain and organize office tasks, implement procedures, and carry out additional administrative duties, depending on the nature of their employment. So, a secretary is a person who helps in an office or school by doing important tasks such as writing letters, answering calls, keeping records, arranging schedules, and helping the boss, teachers, or staff with daily work. So, in short, a secretary is like the assistant who makes sure everything is organized and runs smoothly in the office or school. Now, there are three main roles of secretaries. First, administrative support. It is organizing schedules, handling files, and preparing documents. Secretaries help with daily office or school tasks. They make sure schedules are followed, documents are prepared, and files are organized properly. For example, a secretary preparing class schedules for teachers, a secretary filling student records in a school, or a secretary arranging an appointment for the principal or manager. Second, communication management. It is answering calls, replying to emails, and welcoming visitors. So secretaries handle communication inside and outside the office. They answer calls, reply to emails, and greet visitors politely. They serve as the first point of contact for the organization. For example, a secretary answering phone calls from parents in a school, and a secretary sending meeting reminders by email, or a secretary welcoming visitors and guiding them to the right office. So those are examples of a role of a secretary when it comes to communication management. So let's proceed to the third main role of a secretary, the information handling. It is recording minutes of meetings, preparing reports, and keeping records updated. Here in information handling, the secretaries record, organize, and share important information. They write minutes of meetings, prepare reports, and make sure records are updated and easy to find. Just like, for example, a secretary writing down what was discussed during a school meeting, or a secretary preparing a monthly attendance report for teachers. That is information handling. So let's proceed on how English proficiency helps secretaries. First, clear communication helps in speaking, writing, and understanding instructions. The secretaries need to talk, write, and listen carefully. Good English helps them to share messages clearly and avoid misunderstandings. For example, a secretary speaking politely on the phone with a parent asking about enrollment, or a secretary writing an email to confirm a meeting schedule, or a secretary understanding instructions from the principal or manager. Second, professional image. Good English creates a good impression with clients, teachers, parents, or partners. Using proper English shows respect, confidence, and professionalism. This creates a good impression on visitors, clients, teachers, or even parents. For example, a secretary greeting visitors politely in English at the school office. A secretary writing a formal letter to a supplier or parent. Or a secretary answering questions from a client in a clear English. Third, accuracy in work. Helps in writing correct documents, emails, and reports. Secretaries prepare important documents and reports. Good English helps them avoid mistakes in grammar, spelling, or meaning, which keeps record accurate. Just like, for example, a secretary writing correct student certificates without errors, a secretary preparing a clean, error-free monthly report, or a secretary creating a professional memo with the right wording. So that's how English proficiency helps secretaries when it comes to accuracy in work. So there are two communication tasks secretaries perform. First, writing formal correspondence, such as letters, memos, and reports. Secretaries often prepare written communication for schools or offices. This includes letters, memos, emails, and reports that must be clear, polite, and professional. For example, a secretary writing a letter to inform parents about a school event. So second, we have verbal communication. It is answering inquiries in person or over the phone. Of course, I have an example. For example, a secretary answering parents' question about enrollment over the phone. That is verbal communication. So that is the end of my report. I hope you guys have learned today and thank you for listening. Once again, I am Aljamin A. Kamid, your reporter for this topic.